Hey everyone, it's Nereeda here. I'm so excited today because I'm joined by the lovely, fabulous Nereeda McInnes, all the way from Norway. She's going to tell us a whole heap of stuff today, and I'm going to ask her a lot of questions as well. But I want to give her an official an official intro before we get started. So here it is. The beautiful lady you see on screen used to be was a former theatre artist who followed her dream and founded the company Wisdom from North. Now, this is a Nordic platform for accelerated growth and empowerment. Here she offers inspirational video interviews with highly respected teachers, her own video blogs, an online magazine, an online membership, online courses, and live events. Can you believe it? She's doing everything. She has over 55,000 people following her on her YouTube channel, which has reached over 6 million views. I mean, that is crazy. Jannica, welcome. It's so awesome to see you.
So wonderful to see you as well. Thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you for that amazing intro. It does sound like, wow, I can't believe it, actually. And especially coming from the past I have is kind of, I'm pinching my arm. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, one of the main reasons I really wanted to get you on today was because you have an amazing event coming up. So I thought we'd start with that, and then I'd love to, get to know you a bit better and just, how you've evolved over this time and all that sort of stuff. So the event is called Awaken to Your Soul's Purpose. And I wanted to find out why you're so passionate about this topic and what people can expect when they do this with you, and just, how it's all come about.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's starting the 5th of October, and it's actually 4 workshops that you get access to that I'm doing. And I'm also inviting some of the teachers that I work with. And also you get workbooks to support you on a Facebook group. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's just one of my favorite topics to speak about, because I do believe that each and every one of us have a deeper purpose. And that often we are ignoring those symptoms and those signs from the universe and our soul. And we go on the autopilot, often not being fully conscious of what's going on inside of us and suppressing a lot of our own emotions, what we really want to do, those inner callings. And I think, it has to do with how our society is and how have in a sense being programmed to act a certain way, think a certain way, appear a certain way, becoming perhaps the same as your father was, or the same as your mother was, or what is like culturally accepted. And I think sometimes that we suppress our real needs and desires and urges and gifts. And I think that we all have like a predestined purpose that is there waiting for us. And in many ways, our purpose with life is to discover and find our purpose. So it's kind of twofolded. And I think this is what is needed, because I'm a spiritual believer. Like I believe we are human beings, but really spiritual beings having a human body. And that we have an inner intelligence inside of us that knows our gifts and highest potential. And if we would step into that, we would really contribute to the world in the most beautiful way, really helping create peace on the planet, heaven on earth, raise the vibration, really make a difference. And that's why I think each and every one of us have different gifts to share. And just imagine if we all would share those gifts and speak with our unique truths, instead of copying others, instead of holding down our lights and just repeating our history, because nothing changes if we don't make the changes. So the more we step up and transform our lives and start to live in alignment with our soul, the more we are also being of service to the world. So I'm actually saying in the workshop, I'm sharing like everything I know about how to discover your purpose. I say that your purpose has 2 purposes. So it's twofolded. One is that you individually are called to step into a higher potential that is there, that your soul knows is there, and you have it all inside. And the second thing is to be of service to the world. And that is really beautiful. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because this is my purpose. And when I'm helping people doing this, I know it has these beautiful, ripples in the water. Like this is my gift, this is what I want to do. And yeah, it feels just a really important work, and it's fun too. We're going to have fun, we're going to have a contest, we're going to support each other. And I've done this 2 times before, and many times people like connect with like-minded people, and it's just a really beautiful thing. And I want it to be free because I want it to be open to everyone. And then if people want to dive deeper and continue working with me afterwards, they can do that as well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. And anyone who has known and followed me for a while, you can see why I resonate so much with Yannicka. It's all about raising the vibration, and the work that you are doing is just incredible. I mean, you've been doing this for 8 years now, is that right?
Yeah, it has evolved and changed a lot. But
yes.
my first interview on YouTube was in 2012, which I think is not a coincidence. That's why something started to happening inside me. Yeah. There was a call there, and fortunately I answered that call. But at that time, I had no idea what I was doing, like interviewing people or spiritual teachers. And I didn't know how to interview. Like, I was such a newbie, but I had so much joy doing it. And it just felt like everything clicked, like it was all right. And the name Wisdom from North just dropped into my mind while I was jogging. So I do think I got help when I got clarity. It was this thought that dropped down into my mind, because at that time I was studying to be a primary teacher, and I was not inspired at all. And I was having this conversation with my father, and he said, okay, I get that you're not inspired, but just finish, your studies, because otherwise you might regret. And I was like, okay, I'm going to finish it, but I don't think I'm going to be a primary teacher. It's a beautiful job. It just does not feel right. And then all of a sudden, this thought came into my mind, and I heard myself say, Dad, what I really want to do is to travel around the world and interview spiritual teachers about the big questions of life. And he was like, what? And then when I said it, I was like, oh, but that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And it was such a clear moment. And I'm so glad looking back at it that I was not thinking, oh, that's a silly thought. But I had so much energy around it. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. And I ran home, grabbed my jogging shoes, and started running and like picturing, how can I do this? The name dropped down. And I realized this is perfect, because I've been a musical theater artist. I can be on camera. This is good. And then within 1 week, I landed 2 jobs. So I got in, I think it was $5,000 in a week. And that's not normal for me. So I was able to create a website and a camera. And then I was going, I got going. And that's where it all started. So I do think I got help. I just want to I'm sharing it because when you do get those hints or those signs, say yes to it, even though it's scary, even though you don't know where it's going. Like, you have no idea, how is this going to look like? Don't care about the how. Just take that first step, and the universe is there. It will help you along the way.
And it drops in because it's for you. Those ideas are for you, even if they are big and scary, or you don't know what it looks like. You just know you have to follow it, don't you?
Yeah. And I mean, it's all about the journey, because I haven't received a lot of information about how to go about this. All the time I've been unsure. Where am I going with this? How is this going to look like? Who am I going to interview? There's so many questions. How can I earn money on this? This is really what I want to do. But I've just really been committed to my heart and to sing my own song, in a sense. And in that, it started to reveal and open up more and more. And all of a sudden I felt, oh, now it's time to create a company, because I got more clear on what I was doing. But it took me 6 years before I started a real company. So it has been a long journey. So I think patience is also important, and to trust that you are moving in the right direction, even though you can't see it, but your heart knows, your intuition knows where you're going. like that deeper part of you, but your conscious mind does not probably know how this is going to look like.
Mm, I think that is so on point, the trust thing. It's trusting the process. And you're right, you don't know where it's going consciously, but you know in your heart, you feel that. And it's like taking a step, and then you take a step up and a step up, and your perspective changes, you learn new things, and then it keeps growing as you grow. And that's sort of how it's designed, isn't it? In a way.
Yeah, I do think that I wouldn't have been ready to create a company 6 years ago.
Mm,
Like I needed to mature, I needed to gain more self-confidence and love myself even more, which has been a big topic in my life.
mm,
Uh, and now I see that, okay, or now I'm very happy that that idea of how to create my company didn't come before that, because I was not ready at
yeah.
all. And I think my frequency wasn't high enough. I wasn't able to hold that space
Mm,
and also have boundaries. Like I've been a woman without boundaries. And I
mm,
had to learn to really start setting boundaries in business and with people, really being clear. Like yesterday, there was a teacher that I'm working with that we were talking about creating something. And then she came with a totally different idea. And we're super excited about it. And you know, when somebody's like, I'm so super excited about it, let's do this. And I feel, no, it's wrong. It's like, that's not my dream. And
mm,
I felt into it and I so wanted to please her, like make her happy. But then I just, you know, took the power back. Like, what do I want? And I said, you know, that is really not my vision. So
mm,
this is what I want to create. And if you're with me on that, let's do that. But that idea, I think, is more yours. You can do that alone, but that's not my vision. And I really felt my empowerment right there.
mm.
And setting boundaries, because if you I mean, my vision is very clear, my dream is very clear, and when you start to like make compromises, like, oh no, my dream is not that important, or
Yeah.
yeah, we can change it, then all of a sudden you start compromising
Mm,
instead of like really sticking to your vision. And it felt really good. So the more you do that, the more you give actually energy to your vision, and the universe is like, yeah, you really want this, we're going to help you with this.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Oh, that is great. I think it's really important for people to hear that, because I think boundaries is one of those things that I guess it ties into that self-love and self-worth that you touched on a little bit earlier as well. And I'd really like to dive a bit deeper on that with you. Before I do that, though, I just want to let everyone know that I've got the link to your event will be in the description, so you can find it and click through. I didn't say that before, so I just want to make sure you know where to go. But you know, you talk about a lot about self-love and self-worth. You know, why is that so important to you?
Because I think it's the most important thing there is. Because if you don't have self-love for yourself or feel valuable, you're compromising yourself. You're not living in alignment with the truth of who you are, which is love, which is intelligence. And we often put ourselves below others and feel like we have to prove our worth. We have to perform and do all these things, and this to be valuable. And this is really coming from, I believe, childhood and the past, from where we needed to be acknowledged by our caretakers and parents.
Mm,
And often, if perhaps our parents were very busy, they didn't see us, perhaps we were the middle sibling in or the person in the middle with two siblings, and we feel we were not seen. But every time we sang or danced, did something, we got attention. And attention for a child equals love.
mm,
Oh, you know, they see me. You know, a child is like, see me now, see me now, see me now. They say it all the time because
so
that is
true.
love for them. They are
Hmm.
validated. And that can then turn into, when we're adult, like this notion that I need to do something and prove my worth in order to receive love.
Mm,
And all of a sudden we lose the sense that we're valuable just by being born, that I'm good enough just by being me.
mm,
And I experienced this the hard way, where I was a musical theater artist ever since I was 7 years old. And I was child star in Norway, and I got all this attention, and I played Annie, you know, gave so much energy out there and was really vulnerable. Like nobody was really protecting me. And I was just performing. Like I wanted to be good, good, good. And I got a lot of applause and feedback. And I heard I was the best Annie and the best and the best. And this created such fear of not being good enough, right? So when I then was 20 years old or 21, I landed the role of Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. And then I lost my voice. And I never forget that day, because inside of me, there was just darkness. Like I could feel like my life was like shaking and that everything would change. Like all of a sudden I didn't have my voice. And then who was I? Who was I?
Yeah.
And I had to quit, you know, leave, give the role to somebody else. And it just got quiet. I had to be quiet. And I fell down to this deep depression, thinking I was worthless. And this lasted for a long, long time. Like I got out of it and sort of survived, but then it came back a few years later because I hadn't worked through it enough. And then I realized slowly but surely through myself, like through spiritual work, that I needed to love myself just for being me, just for being me. And then slowly but surely, I started, you know, giving respect to my own emotions, starting to listen to those subtle feelings, started to have more boundaries. And then I got this idea, you know, I just felt that when this idea of interviewing people is so strong, honoring that is self-love.
Yeah.
I mean, if I hadn't cultivated self-love, I wouldn't have listened to that, because I would have been like, what would people think? I'm not good enough. How can I do this? People will ridicule me. No, all of a sudden it was like, I am the main character in my own life. I'm taking the power back. I'm going to do this for me. And it's just such a powerful place to be when you start to realize that I can make my own choices about my life. I'm the main character in my own life. I'm the star in my own life. I can take up space. I want to decide how my life is going to be. And I have things to share. And I care about my own happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really powerful. And people are noticing it too. When you respect yourself, they start to respect you.
Yes.
And then we have the law of attraction and the law of vibration, and how things just start to open up to us, because we're telling the world, I'm valuable. I'm good enough.
Yes.
And that then the world will start to reflect that back to you as well. So yeah, that's the place to start. And that's a journey too, of course.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey, but far out, that is so powerful. And the fact that you've got that story, the way that you share that just with us right now, it just, I think so many people can relate to that story, even if they're, you know, in a different, you know, that they might not be singers or actors, but they can see that and feel that in themselves as well. And it's such a powerful thing. You know, a lot of people struggle with daring to come out with their gifts. Do you see that as something that is courageous, or that just comes with the self-love? How do you see that?
Yeah, I actually think it comes with self-love, because I think it's harder to use willpower when it comes to courage. Like, I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to be courageous. And if you look at the map of consciousness, it's this scale that David Hawkins has, where all the different emotions are vibrating on a different frequency. Willpower is pretty high, or it's like in the middle. So a lot of people are using willpower, which can work, but I think it's a higher way of working, which is love. Like, love is vibrating higher. So when you show yourself, or if you have gifts you want to share, you want to write a blog or become a writer or whatever it is, an artist, doing that, manifesting that, going for that is self-love. So instead of like forcing yourself with willpower, which I feel is more strain in it, I think it's more flow in the energy if you do it through love. And that then others will say, oh, you are so courageous. But for you, it's like more of this natural thing,
Mm.
because of course you want to follow your heart's desire, because that's being good to yourself. And you know that when you are good to yourself, others perceive that, and others more easily will be inspired by you to do the same. So
Mm.
when you start to live your dreams, you inspire others to do the same.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at courage, in a sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, you're speaking my language. It creates that ripple effect, doesn't it? It spreads far and wide when we're able to live in alignment with who we really are. Yeah, it does just flow. It does flow. It doesn't mean that we won't be faced with challenges, or as I like to say, opportunities to grow. They will come, but you'll be following your own truth, so you'll know how to navigate it more. And I think as well, it comes with learning different tools that you can use when you are faced with those opportunities to grow as well, or um, so yeah, it's so powerful, everything that you're saying, Yannicka. um, Tell us a bit more about this event coming up, because I'm sure people listening right now are going, I want to know more. When does it start? Where can we sign up? Let us know.
Yeah, it's very easy. All you do is sign up with your name and your best email, so you receive all the information from us. And we start the 5th of October. However, the week before, we have a welcoming week in the Facebook group. So we're having a pop-up Facebook group for this,
Yeah.
because community part is so important. Like everything we've been speaking about, it can be difficult when you know things come up, and
Mm.
I'm going to take a deep journey, so things will might you might start a process, and then it's really good to have that community with like-minded people who
Mm.
also want to open up to their purpose. And not only that, I think, and this is proven, like when more people come together with the same intention, we give energy to that and we create this momentum, so it's
Yeah.
more easy for us to have breakthroughs. So that's really powerful to gain that support from the group, and also know that everybody has the same attention. That strengthens the potential for us to really have some breakthroughs. So that's powerful, and that's also why I have a membership, actually, which you are going to be part of. I'm so excited about that. Yeah.
I am too. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to have 4 workshops on the 5th, on Wednesday, and Friday the 9th. And on the 9th, I'm going to invite some of the teachers I work with. They're going to share their experiences, their tips, and they're really following their purpose. So I think that's really inspiring to learn how they manage to do it. And their lives has been like that. So it's just so important for me to say that, or to show people the journey that we've had, because it's not like, oh, I'm living this perfect life and everything. It's like, it's coming from a place like we have been going through a huge transformation, and that's what's interesting. And that was what always inspired me with people when I was really depressed. Like, if that person can change, maybe I can change. If that person can be happy, maybe I can be happy. Like, she's been through hell, maybe it's possible for me. Like, she thought she was nothing, maybe. But I had such a slight hope, because I felt like I was the most worthless person in the whole world. Like, I was under everybody. Like, that was my perspective. So yeah, it's been a long journey to like come where I am.
Yeah.
But then we're going to have, like, on Monday, the celebration masterclass, and we're going to tell who's winning, because we have a contest, and you can get the replays if you cannot be there live, and you have access to all the content in within October 16th.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be really epic and amazing, because I've done this several times before, but now I have some new knowledge and inspiration to share. And it's really a great place to, like, okay, now I'm going to give some space to my soul to listen within, and to see, perhaps start a new direction in my life, and to really trust the process. And if the ego shows up saying, oh, I don't have time for this, just, check in if that's really just resistance. Because I think sometimes when we know there's something great for us to do, we like resist it, like, oh, I can do that another time.
Yeah.
I should
I need to
tidy
paint.
my closet. So that ego is very interesting. when it shows up and tells us all the reasons why we cannot follow our purpose. I hope to see you there, everybody. I think it's going to be a magical week.
Yeah, oh, it definitely is. It definitely is. It feels so exciting and bright and light. So, guys, if you want to be a part of this, I would definitely sign up. You will love it. You will absolutely love it. Yannicka, I could talk to you forever, but of course, we'd probably need to go to the toilet, eat some food. You know, that'll all happen if we talk forever. Is there anything else that you want to cover before we wrap things up today?
It's just to perhaps stress some of the things I've been saying, that if you have a feeling right now that, maybe you have a purpose, but I don't, or, but, I don't have enough money, or I don't have time. Like, how can I do that with 3 kids and everything? And sometimes there are some valid reasons why we cannot pursue something right now. But what you can do is take that first step, because thinking ahead of, perhaps you have a dream, perhaps you have a clear dream, perhaps you don't, you just have a feeling, but that can scare you a bit with that big dream. So don't care about that right now. Don't care about the how at all, because the how will reveal itself. It will unfold. Trust is so important. You would not have had that urge or that feeling or that dream if it wasn't for you. You wouldn't have had the thought if you didn't have the resources, the potential, the gifts to do it. And trust that the universe or your inner intelligence knows more than your ego is telling you. Because I was saying to myself, I don't have business skills. Like, I can't. But I just took one step at a time and learned what I needed to do. And then you learn some more, and then you learn some more. And all of a sudden it's like, how did I get here? So we get help all the time. We just don't need to take quantum leaps, because that scares the mind. Just take one step at a time, one step at a time. And you have time. But take that first step today, that small one step that you can take today. And that can be signing up to my event. It can be something else, but just take that first step, because then you get the energy going. Yeah.
It's all about taking that first step and just trusting. I think I've shared this story with you before. I was speaking to someone and they were talking about speaking in front of people, and they're speaking in front of a couple of people, but worrying about what it would be like speaking in front of 100,000 people. And I said, look, you're not going to be taken from there to there in one day. You've got that journey, and you've just said that so well. It's about taking that one step and just knowing that, you will be shown. And when you're open to the signs and the synchronicity and you're following your heart, you will be shown, won't you?
Yeah, and trust that you will be shown. And I used to think, well, everybody gets signs, but not me. But when that's self-worth again, right? Like, not me, and that kind of going into it's like a victim mentality. And I realized that that was a default in me, always going to, oh, not me, everybody else, not me. And then I was like, why not me? Like, why am I telling myself that story that everybody else can have everything but not me? That makes me actually very special. So I switched it. It's like, everybody but not me, something special with me. That's a strange story I'm telling myself. Of course I can have signs too. Maybe I should just start to observe my life and look for them instead of like denying it. So, we're really getting to know ourselves here. So it starts with that self-worth, but it also starts with observation. And I'm going to take you guys through that. Like, I call it the portals. Like, you're going through some portals that are really tools on how you can start to notice and observe the signs and signals that your soul is calling for you.
That's beautiful. That is so good. Yannicka, thank you so much for coming on today and being able to catch up. I'm so excited. Like I said, guys, I'll leave the link below. If you've got any questions, just sing out. Thank you, Yannicka, for being here and for everything that you do. You're amazing. You are a bright light, and I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you for saying that. And thank you. I'm very excited about your work, and also looking forward to us collaborating together, because I have a membership and I have many masterclass teachers, and I so wanted you to come along and share your wisdom in my membership. So I can't wait for that. So I'm truly grateful for your work as well.
Oh, thanks, mate. It's awesome. I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Well, everyone, thank you so, so much for being here. Thank you for your time. And I hope you have a brilliant rest of the day, week, wherever you're at. Thanks for being there. Thanks again, Yannicka.
Bye.